Authenticity. Black Americans developed an authenticity test for one reason and one reason only: survival. And every time we listen to the wrong voice, trusted the wrong words, believed in the wrong face, it cost us something. Freedom, our children, our very lives. When I tell you that Van Jones, Tim Scott, and Cory Booker have failed the test, I'm not just roasting them, and I'm not just telling you to insult them. I'm telling you for a reason. Stay with me, and I'm going to explain why the authenticity test still matters, and why we can't afford to stop using it, especially now. Ian, what happened to Van Jones, fam? I ain't seen Van in a while, man. I mean, Van Jones is so obviously full of shit. That's what I think about Van Jones. Whenever he talking, or CNN crying and shit, I'd be like,
And then you just cry. Because this is somebody that you love. This is somebody that you care about. This is somebody who was there for you. This is somebody, you wouldn't be here without him. And you had to take something from him. Now, this is not, look, politics is politics. But this is a human moment for one of the great humans in America. This is a huge moment for him, for his family, for all of us who love him, for all of us who wanted him to get across the finish line. But if you're a young person watching this is leadership.
Mr. Progressive. Man, they just be politicking, man. Everybody be doing politics. Van Jones, he's staying under the radar for a reason.
Finally, Kamala Harris sent us a love letter. To you, that might have been a policy document. I read that as a love letter from Kamala Harris to black men who need some love.
Van Jones, is that who he appears to be? This is all smoke and mirrors. It's all image, it's branding.
He became president of the United States in that moment, period. There are a lot of people who have a lot of reason to be frustrated with him, to be fearful of him, to be mad at him. But that was one of the most extraordinary moments you have ever seen in American politics, period.
You know, the messy truth. The messy truth is, Van is really messy. That's what I think, fam. Cory Booker, oh God.
I hurt. When Dick Durbin called me, I had tears of rage when I heard about his experience in that meeting. And for you not to feel that hurt and that pain, and to dismiss some of the questions of my colleagues, saying I've already answered that line of questions, when tens of millions of Americans are hurting right now because of what they're worried about what happened in the White House. That's unacceptable to me.
Oh, please.
You don't want to call Benjamin Netanyahu, say, a war criminal. What happens if you do? What changes by just saying, I believe Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, and that signals what our sort of moral parameters are for the kind of leadership in Israel we view as acceptable?
This is not a political test for me. Benjamin Netanyahu is a horrible person who enabled October 7th and has failed to take accountability. Remember, he knew about the Qataris funding this horrific terrorist organization, Hamas. He knew about that.
Fam, you know what it is, right? You can see through them. And that's the thing. We come from a people that can see through our people very, very readily, right? It's very obvious. And one thing that Black Americans, one thing that we hang our hat on, one thing that we know that's very much culturally about us is authenticity is important.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like.
Look, I'm one of a handful of people that don't take corporate PAC money. I don't understand my Democratic
What
Party.
about APAC money? You take APAC money, don't you?
A minuscule percentage of my resources come from
I read it's like 800,000.
Yeah, but that's a lifetime number.
Right? We're heavy on authenticity. The whole corporate BS, the BS corporate culture, that's white culture. That pretend to like people, to pretend to be polite, That is white society. That is white culture.
Here's the challenge, though. Black families survived slavery. We survived poll taxes and literacy tests.
Black culture is built on authenticity. It's built on people being true to who they are.
And today was a big story, the biggest story out there. He's engaged to be married. We never thought this was going to happen. What's going on?
So that's why we give each other the issues that we give each other. People say we always turn each other down. Now, it's just culturally. Authenticity is so important to Black Americans. Part of the reason why Black Americans survived slavery, Jim Crow, Black codes, is authenticity and being able to see what Black person was trustworthy and which wasn't. This is in our DNA, fam. See, part of the survival of Black Americans as a people was our ability to determine who was worthy of trust and who wasn't. Who was going to go tell massa? Who was going to snitch? Who could keep a secret? Right? This was part of our survival technique. We don't make it. We don't survive that horrendous history without having that ability to have that third eye, baby, to be able to see through it. So some of this, what some people regard as us turning each other down, is just that engagement, is just that mechanism, that survival instinct. You can't cut that off and on. It's on. It's in your DNA, fam. So when you see a Cory Booker and he's up there, oh, come on. We have to have more love. We have to have more understanding. We have to. Meanwhile, he taking all the AIPAC money. He took all the pharmaceutical money and then voted against us. You know, we had a bill on the floor that we was going to get our drugs from Canada, which would have cut the price of our medical our pharmaceuticals in half. Cory Booker voted against it. Then turns out one of Cory Booker's primary donors was the pharmaceutical industry. Y'all know that about Cory? Yeah. Cory sitting up here talking about we need to get corruption out of politics. Meanwhile, Cory Booker takes all this money from AIPAC. I mean, come on, Johnson. So Black Americans, we see through the nonsense. We see through Cory Booker. And we're not going to pretend like it's okay to be a lying piece of garbage. We can't. It's not in our DNA to pretend that that's okay. So we got some Black Americans that don't understand that they're going against everything that's in them. Everything. It's coursing through your veins. It's in your DNA strands. This is who you are. You can try to fight it, but you're going to have all types of trouble. It's going to drive you to drink like Kamala, to go against yourself, to go against what's in you. In fact, Cory Booker did so bad when he ran for office because Black America can see through him. We see him from over there. We see him coming. That brother ain't like that. That ain't who he is. That's not him. You can tell it's not him. That brother ain't real right there. He ain't real. He a knockoff. He playing a role. He gaming. And you know what? White people can see it too. They just accept the phony. Because in their culture, you let people be phony. The phonier the better. Being phony is fine. All that southern nice shit, all fine. It's all bullshit. But in their culture, that's acceptable. It's the person that can bullshit the best and pretend to be upstanding. They like that. But it's the opposite for us. We reject it. Okay? And that's who we are culturally. And that's one of the reasons why they prefer not to choose us, because we are different culturally, we are different. Now, I don't know how black people are across the pond. I don't know how the black people are, the Z-ways, the black women that they get that come from the UK. I'm thinking of these people. The Trevor Noahs from Africa, the black people that look black, but they're not black Americans, but they are black in their country. They're not even considered black in their country, considered whatever their country is. I don't know what they are culturally. And here in America, authenticity matters. It matters that you are who you say you are. It matters that you are walking the walk. And we'll take you imperfect, but we won't take you fake. Yeah, we'll take it imperfect. We'll take an imperfect sister, an imperfect brother, but we won't take a fake ass. White folks culturally will. And they will reward you for playing a game. Black Americans will only respect that when you play a game out there with them, but then when you come home to us, with our community, you're being authentic. That's different. But if we sense you playing a game on us, you run a game on us, nah. We reject you. And that's Cory Booker, that's Tim Scott, right? That's just two that comes to mind. They the same guy. That's why I tell people, I say, if you're going to tell me that Tim Scott's a sellout, but you want to say that about Cory Booker, then you don't know the game. Then you can't have a conversation with me, right? Because that means you caught up on parties. You don't even have your dial adjusted. We need to readjust you. We need to drop squad you. We need to reprogram you. Your program is faulty. We need to upgrade your operating system. We need to install some service packs, right? We need to do some hardware. We need to refresh your image. You understand what I'm saying? Your wiring screwed up. Your iOS needs an update.
I have experienced the pain of discrimination. I know what it feels like to be pulled over for no reason, to be followed around the store while I'm shopping. I've also experienced a different kind of intolerance. I get called Uncle Tom and the N-word by progressives, by liberals. Just last week.
Catch Tim Black live on the most dangerous show in America, Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Times. Don't miss out on the real. Stay dangerous.